Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. Information is not knowledge. 3 great forces rule the world: stupidity, fear, and greed. Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Be a loner. That gives you time to wonder, to search for the truth, have holy curiosity. Make your life worth living. Not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts. Never memorize something that you can look up. Try not to become a man of success. Rather, become a man of value. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change. If I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about solutions. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't pays it. The only source of knowledge is experience. Excellence is doing a common thing in an uncommon way. If you want your children to be intelligent, read them fairy tales. If you want them to be more intelligent, read them more fairy tales. Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. I have no special talents. I'm only passionately curious. You never fail until you stop trying. The best way to cheer yourself is to cheer somebody else up. We all know that light travels faster than sound. That's why certain people appear bright until you hear them speak. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. One thing I have learned in a long life, that all our science measured against reality is primitive and childlike, and yet it is the most precious thing we have. If people are good only because they fear punishment and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. Life is a preparation for the future. And the best preparation for the future is to live as if there were none. The only real valuable thing is intuition. A person starts to live when he can live outside himself. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. Genius is 1% talent and 99% hard work. Only those who attempt the absurd can achieve the impossible. The more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know. You cannot simultaneously prevent and prepare for war. If at first the idea is not absurd, then there is no hope for it. When I examine myself and my methods of thought, I come to the conclusion that the gift of fantasy has meant more to me than any talent for abstract, positive thinking. The tragedy of life is what dies inside a man while he lives. Possessions, outward success, publicity, luxury, to me these have always been contemptible. I believe that a simple and unassuming manner of life is best for everyone, best for both the body and the mind. The ideals which have always shone before me and filled me with joy are goodness, beauty, and truth. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another. You have to learn the rules of the game, and then you have to play better than anyone else. Play is the highest form of research. Student is not a container you have to fill, but a torch you have to light up. The true value of a human being can be found in the degree to which he has attained liberation from the self. At least once a day, Allow yourself the freedom to think and to dream for yourself. No amount of experimentation can ever prove me right. A single experiment can prove me wrong. Small is the number of them that see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. Older men start wars, but younger men fight them. Do not grow old, no matter how long you live. Never cease to stand like curious children before the great mystery into which we were born. Adversity introduces a man to himself. There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. Any fool can know. The point is to understand. The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. It is not that I'm so smart, but I stay with the questions much longer. The world is a dangerous place to live, not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. Everything must be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. We dance for laughter, we dance for tears, we dance for madness, we dance for fears, we dance for hopes, we dance for screams. We are the dancers, we create the dreams. I must be willing to give up what I am in order to become what I will be. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. We know from daily life that we exist for other people, first of all, for whose smiles and well-being our own happiness depends. If I were to remain silent, I'd be guilty of complicity. I never teach my pupils. I only attempt to provide the conditions in which they can learn. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. A man should look for what is, and not for what he thinks it should be. The only sure way to avoid making mistakes is to have no new ideas. Past is dead, future is uncertain, present is all you have, so eat, drink. Solitude is painful when one is young, but delightful when one is more mature. Never do anything against conscience, even if the state demands it. As our circle of knowledge expands, so does the circumference of darkness surrounding it. Always do what's right. This will gratify some and astonish the rest. Truth is what stands the test of experience. It is no accident that capitalism has brought with it progress not merely in production, but also in knowledge. Egoism and competition are, alas, stronger forces than public spirit and sense of duty. Two things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe. I am enough of an artist to draw freely upon my imagination. Imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. Logic will get you from A to Z. Imagination will get you everywhere. I speak to everyone in the same way, whether he is the garbage man or the president of the university. A clever person solves the problem. A wise person avoids it. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. A true genius admits that she knows nothing. Creativity is intelligence having fun. If A is a success in life, then A equals X plus Y plus Z. Work is X, Y is play, and Z is keeping your mouth shut. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. The woman who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The woman who walks alone is likely to find herself in places no one has ever been before. Blind belief in authority is the greatest enemy of truth. I never made one of my discoveries through the process of rational thinking. Once we accept our limits, we go beyond them. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Few are those who see with their own eyes and feel with their own hearts. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is at all comprehensible. The only thing that you absolutely have to know is the location of the library. Reading after a certain age diverts the mind too much from its creative pursuits. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. Nothing happens until something moves. I'd rather be an optimist and a fool than a pessimist and right. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it. You can never solve a problem on a level on which it was created. Which quote did you like the most? Share your opinion in the comments. Watch our next video and subscribe.